Hello and welcome to RaW 12:51am's Varsity Spotlight for Ultimate Frisbee. We're down here. So yes, I'm your presenter, Tim Arstall. We're down here for Varsity Spotlight. I'm joined by Linus, Pardoe and Luke Brown from RaW Sport, and Boar Sport, I should say. First to you, Linus. I think Ultimate Frisbee, a massive event, a really important event, one of the biggest at Varsity. As a fresher, what is Ultimate Frisbee to you?
Oh, it's the most important university sport. You know, we play outside our halls, and you know, we get up in the morning, we train really hard. Every fresher does it. And do you know the men's first team rugby and the men's first team football, all as part of their warm up, they all play Ultimate Frisbee. It is not only is this a lethal weapon, but this is also the most important sport at university. Warwick takes it seriously. Yeah,
more than just a sport; it's a way of life. And Luke, a man who I'm sure is well acquainted with sports like Ultimate Frisbee, your Boar Sport Live blog. Highlight of the whole Varsity event so far. What are your expectations for today, and what are your thoughts about Ultimate Frisbee, really? Gripping a Frisbee there yourself, actually.
Thoughts about Ultimate Frisbee? When I was 5 years old and just a small boy, my father said to me, "Son, you need to make it in life as an Ultimate Frisbee player to be successful." Unfortunately, an injury to my knee when I was 7 put paid to that career, but I'm here today to see some good skill and to see some impressive Frisbee.
Tragedy, heroism and drama on RaW. We're going to go learn more about Ultimate Frisbee. So before we talk to the team and find out a bit more about the sport, they say the best way to get into a sport is to try it ourselves. So we're going to try our hand at some trick shots and just see what we can learn about Ultimate Frisbee by getting a hands-on approach.
Luke Brown, Hungry Wildcat.
Linus, Pardoe, the Steven Gerrard slip.
Tim Arstall, head of RaW Sport. We're actually really self-aware, I promise. This is the Robin van Persie salmon leap. Okay, so I'm joined now by Kat and Matt from the Ultimate Frisbee team. And guys, first of all, I just want to ask you a bit about the sport, because obviously you hear so much about it as a university sport, but I think a lot of people don't know about the rules. So I've heard it's a bit similar to American football. What sort of nature is the game? What are the objectives? How do you win? And how long is a match?
So basically you have a pitch with 2 end zones. And each team starts from their respective end zone, and the team on defence throws the frisbee to the other team, which then starts attacking to the opposite end zone. You're not allowed to move with the disc or run with the disc, so you move by passing the disc from one teammate to, you know, another, and a point happens. So a point is scored when someone catches the frisbee inside the end zone.
Yeah, and Matt, I know the sport sometimes has a bit of a laid-back image compared to stuff like football and rugby, but do you guys take it really seriously? Do you think it's just as much an important sport as, say, the football team would treat football or the rugby team rugby?
Oh, absolutely. We train, well, the first team train 2 2-hour sessions a week, as well as the beginner sessions we run, and as well as indoor sessions. So we take it very seriously. We do fitness sessions, we do all variety of things, but then there is that side of it where it is a sport where you can, it's not a couple of weeks, it's all it takes to really pick up the basics. So if you do want to come along, try something new, it's great for just learn to throw, and then you can come to the socials. And we are quite laid back at the beginner sessions. We don't take it, if you don't want to take it seriously, there is an option to do that. Whereas I imagine the football clubs are very sort of, you either train and then you just play a 5-side match. We incorporate both sides quite well, we think.
And when are those beginner sessions? When can people get involved after varsity?
So after varsity, if you come along on Friday 3 to 5 in the main hall in the sports centre, that's a great chance indoors to really pick up the game. If you've never played before, well, I mean, we'll be very gentle with you, take you through it. That's excellent. There's also 2 to 4 on here varsity, where we run our big beginner sessions outdoors, where make sure you come in lots of layers, bring boots, because it is cold at the moment, but otherwise, yeah, do come along.
Okay, brilliant. And what I'm going to get you guys to do now is hopefully demonstrate the art of throwing a frisbee, because I know I've tried myself sometimes and it's not as easy as it looks. I'm pretty terrible, and I do have my 2 beautiful assistants, Luke Brown and Linus Pardoe. So if you could just show me sort of, or show them really, like the technique for throwing a frisbee really, because I'm sure in Ultimate Frisbee the technique is just as important as any other sport. So what is the art really to a successful throw, a long distance throw maybe?
Yeah, I mean, so the main thing that I think lots of people miss out on is it's not about the power you put into the disc from your arm. It's not about how fast you can get the disc moving through the air. It's mainly about how much spin you can put on it. So you should really be looking to grab the disc as tightly as you can, get all your fingers on the inside of the rim, and then really looking to sort of get a biggest pivot as possible, so you can really, and then snapping your wrist to really get that spin going through. So it should, just if I can do this, it should just fly out like that.
I can confirm that was a very good throw, out of shot.
Obviously you're trying, your aim is to kind of, you have a person marking you, so you have a person in front of you trying to block your throws. So you have to throw the throw that gets the frisbee past the person. So so you can throw a forehand, which is basically that way instead of that way. You throw that way.
Yeah.
You can tilt the angle of the disc. So depending on what kind of a angle you want it to fly in, and you can also throw overhead throws, which then have a slightly different effect.
Okay, brilliant. So now hopefully Linus and Luke are going to have a go at throwing, and we're going to see if you can improve their technique.
Well, that one off camera.
That's pretty good.
Yeah, it's gone off again.
Okay, so what you just saw there was one of Luke Brown's frankly pitiful attempts at an ultimate frisbee throw without any practice or guidance. And I'm joined now by Jack Skipper, who is the captain of the men's ultimate frisbee team. And Jack, hopefully you can show Luke the error of his ways and give him a few tips on how to improve his technique.
Okay. Well, firstly, I noticed how he held the frisbee was very loosely, with his hands loose around the rim. You need to grip it really tightly so you can get that spin, as we talked about earlier, involved, and so that it won't wobble with the wind or anything, because wind really affects the disc. Secondly, as you throw it up with your hand, and that's from lots of other sports which involve balls, like rugby or American football. When you throw it, you want to throw up because it's just going to do like a trajectory. When an ultimate frisbee, the disc will glide, so you have to throw it like flat and to the mark you're aiming at, nice and reasonably flat and low. And finally, I think a lot of people tend to bend their arm a lot, and because it's like you think that will give you spin, but you want to keep your arm straight because it's all from the wrist snapping, which gives you all that power and speed and accuracy which you can gain from it. If you bend your arm, you're just making the disc wobble, and as you can see, the disc is getting in the way, when if I have my arm straight, the disc is out of the way of my body, so I can get lots more speed and spin on the disc.
Brilliant. You taking this in, Luke?
Yeah, I think my previous experience with ball sports is definitely would have come into it front upwards. I think a good flat disc and I should be on my way.
Okay, so you can have another go now.
That was good. I'm slightly off camera.
Well, Luke, I'm honestly really impressed though. I think you improved a lot. You feeling a lot more confident with your frisbee playing now?
Thank you. Yeah, if any professional frisbee teams are watching this, the name's Luke Brown. Catch me on Twitter. I'm available on a free transfer.
Absolutely, and he's got a great blog as well. And Linus, I believe you actually played a bit of ultimate frisbee in your spare time in halls and freshers. So, feeling confident about the sport now?
Yeah, I come alongside Luke in terms of ability.
But no, behind us it is the beginners game going on. There is two sets of games. The beginners game, which is all comprised of freshers, and for the pro team, I think you can call it, which is going to be from 3 to 4.